everyone on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to try and update this without doing any edits. I don't know if I can do it. So here is some of the damage. This was the paint was all cracked and up, and so I got it off. It seems like everywhere I've had to repair it, like I've done some repairs down here. This is a repair I just varnished over, but it seems like, you know, they manufacturer patch these knot holes in the middle of the plywood, and that's where all my problem is. Here's a new one that came up that I just used my wire brush wheel and ground off because the top surface was all cracking, and you can't seal it up. I used this this white stuff is like a rubberized paint that's for like trailer house roofs. A couple years ago I used it in hopes that it would seal the you know, the where it was peeling. I think I've already scuffed them all up, but even at the front, I've been in a lot of rain with this camper. Seems like every time I go to Moab or Colorado, it's a 10-hour drive, 11 hours, and seems like it's always rains for 2 hours on that trip. And it's pretty hard on the plywood when that happens. And see, I've got a bunch of delamination right here that's happened. I'm going to epoxy that all back together and put some bricks on it to hold it down. Because even as thin as it is, it still holds out the water once you get all the spots filled. So I keep finding where these knot holes have been, and then it seems like the veneer surface always cracks and bubbles up over these potholes, or what am I, those are called knot holes. Anyway, they fill them in with putty. Well, whatever they used, I think this wood would have worked a lot better if whatever they used for a filler putty was more water resistance. Here was one, and you can see it looks like in that piece of wood was bark that they filled in. So I just used a wire brush to scratch it off, and I get more of these spots that come up. And on the roof, I had a big area on the roof here. And once I scratched everything off, you know, they had this big crack filled with stuff. There's another knot, there's another knot. But everywhere else where there's not a knot, it's held up really well. So I think for the $250 it cost me to build this, it's been a great camper shell. I've used it a dozen times at least. Going to Moab last year, it snowed for 6 hours of the trip, and it was a really wet snow, and so this thing was just totally wet. I've not done anything to the inside. It's still just the box that holds the stuff up. So the last trip, you can see there's a little bit of moldy mold. It got so wet that last trip, and I may just sand that off. I don't think I'll put anything on it just because I'm not in it that often, and it dries out much better if only one side of a wood surface is painted. I find if you totally seal up wood that if it gets moisture deep inside, it can't get out, and then you have a worse mold problem. I don't know. Anyway, that's just an update. I'm going to epoxy all these holes and then just repaint it. I think I'm going to paint the whole thing white with this elastomer stuff. It's called Roof Guard 700. And it's worked real well. It actually, when it's parked in the sun, the white part of the roof, when you feel from underneath, is actually pretty cool, while the natural wood color feels like it's 50 degrees hotter. I don't sleep in it during the day, so it's not a problem, but it'll keep everything cooler inside there. So I think I'll sand it all and repaint the whole thing after I get all these spots filled in with epoxy and try to get between the wood layers and glue it together. See if I can make it last a couple more years. Anyway, that's it, YouTubers. Sorry this update's been so long. I think I built this like 2001, 3 years ago. It's been a great box. Out.